You know that Palm Springs is in California, which has higher taxes, more expensive gasoline, and the price of homes and condos has really increased in the last 12 months. But how much does it really cost to live in Palm Springs? Stay tuned, let's find out. If you're looking for the most client-centric real estate experience in the Palm Springs area with the highest level of personal service, call, text, or email me. We'll make living in Palm Springs and enjoying its lifestyle a hassle-free experience. So, how much does it really cost to live in the Palm Springs area? Well, the good news is the cost of living in Palm Springs is 18% lower than the California average. The bad news is the cost of living in Palm Springs is 31% higher than the national average. So let's take a look at some of the costs here, starting with the cost of homes and condos for sale. The homes and condo prices have really increased this last year. A lot of this has been caused by high demand and very low inventory of homes for sale, as well as low interest rates. Also, the ability to work from home due to the pandemic allowed many people to rethink where they really wanted to live. And because of the lower cost of living here in the Palm Springs area compared to Los Angeles, Orange County, and San Diego, and other California cities, Palm Springs became more desirable and attractive, and it's only a couple of hours away from most of these areas. All of that being said, the price of an average size home in Palm Springs in late 2021 was $1,182,000, compared to a year earlier when the price was $876,000. Now that's a 34.9% change or increase in the price in just 12 months. The price of an average size condo in Palm Springs is now about $389,000 compared to just a year ago when the price was $303,000. So that's a gain of about 28%. Some of our other cities here in the desert are seeing similar prices, including Rancho Mirage and Indian Wells. Palm Desert's average home price is $705,000, and La Quinta's average home price is $873,000. The least expensive homes here in the Coachella Valley can be found in Cathedral City at $515,000, Indio at $503,000, Coachella at $376,000, and Desert Hot Springs coming in at $360,000. Looking at the larger picture, California is about 139% higher than the national average for housing, and Palm Springs is 79.6% higher than the national average. That's one of the reasons that people coming from the more expensive areas of California think Palm Springs is really a bargain. Many people move to the Palm Springs area for our lifestyle and our 350 days of sunshine each year. Next, let's look at cost of groceries. Since California is such a huge agricultural state, a lot of things you buy at the grocery store are locally grown. For example, the area just southeast of Palm Springs grows lots of fruits and vegetables. So the cost of groceries here in Palm Springs is actually about the same as the U.S. average, and California overall is just a little higher at 5% more than the average U.S. grocery cost. In addition, you'll find local farmers markets that are held here each week. Now, let's look at utility costs. Utilities here are a little more expensive than the national average, actually about 14% higher. Cell phone costs can vary. All the major providers are here, including Verizon, T-Mobile, and AT&T. For cable TV, Spectrum serves most of the Coachella Valley, and Frontier is here also, but not in all areas. And of course, Dish Network and DirecTV are also very popular. I use Spectrum for my internet at home, and it costs about $75 a month. However, they probably have a cheaper price that you can get if it's bundled with one of their other services. One other thing, parts of the Coachella Valley, especially rural areas and the eastern side, including La Quinta, have electric service provided by the Imperial Irrigation District, or IID, and it's less expensive than electricity provided by Southern California Edison. Solar plays a big role here also. Palm Springs is the #2 city in the nation for solar power per capita. Now, solar power can greatly reduce your electric bill, especially in the summertime when you need air conditioning. Homeowners can secure lower energy rates while storing energy at home with solar panels and batteries. So, how much do solar panels cost in Palm Springs? With a solar panel system size of 5 kilowatts, an average solar installation as of January 2022 ranges in cost from $11,262 to $15,238. And that's after accounting for federal investment tax credits and other state and local incentives. There are a number of companies that provide solar here, and they're all worth checking out. Some areas of the Coachella Valley only have propane also, because natural gas just isn't available everywhere. Now, let's take a look at healthcare costs. The Palm Springs area has 3 hospitals: Desert Regional in Palm Springs, Eisenhower in Rancho Mirage, and JFK in Indio. Desert Regional is also the area's trauma hospital, and Eisenhower Medical Center has been named one of the top 100 hospitals in the U.S. Healthcare costs here are about 13% less than the U.S. average, and you'll find specialists in every kind of medicine. California as a whole has healthcare costs that are about 8% less than the U.S. average. What about taxes? California is known for higher taxes. There's basically 3 taxes: state income tax, sales tax, and property tax. California income tax rates range from 1% to 12.3%, depending on taxable income and, of course, your filing status. Also, residency status determines what is taxable, and regardless of filing status, an additional 1% tax applies to income exceeding $1 million. Sales tax rate is a combination of state, county, and city sales tax rates. Some cities here in the Coachella Valley have different tax rates than others. For example, the Palm Springs sales tax as of January 2022 is 9.25%, whereas the sales tax in Palm Desert and Rancho Mirage is 7.75%. And La Quinta comes in at 8.75%. California property taxes are based on the purchase price of the property. So when you buy a home, the assessed value is equal to the purchase price. The effective property tax here in Riverside County is 0.95%, which is one of the highest in the state. A rule of thumb to determine what your property taxes might be here is to take your purchase price times 1.25%. One other thing to look for is Mello-Roos, which is a tax on improvements and sometimes services in newer subdivisions and developments. This tax will also show up on your general property tax statement. So be sure to ask about this if you're buying a home here. In California, the average cost of gasoline is usually the highest in the nation. The reasons for this, besides normal supply and demand factors, is expensive additives required for California gas that makes it cleaner burning and also less polluting. Plus the changes from winter to summer gas blends, and Californians pay 0.81 cents tax per gallon to the state. And that's one reason why the electric vehicles are becoming more popular here. Let me know in the comments below if you're thinking about buying an electric car here in the near future. Public transportation is available here as well, also taxis, Lyft, and Uber. But you really need a car to get around. What about dining? Palm Springs and the entire Coachella Valley are well known for extraordinary dining experiences that both visitors and locals enjoy. Because of Palm Springs weather, and even more so because of COVID, most restaurants offer inside and outdoor dining. While restaurant prices will vary, dining without the drink cost added in can cost anywhere from $20 to $50 a person. Of course, fast food prices are somewhat less. And one thing to look for, many of the restaurants that have outside dining also have great views. If you own a home here, you may want to know how much your pool service and your gardener will cost. Well, pool service can range from $150 to $200 a month, and that's with weekly or even twice weekly service. And a gardener that comes twice a month will also cost you between $150 and $200. What about golf? The greater Palm Springs area has about 110 golf courses, and there's a big range of prices based on which course you choose to play. For example, during the winter season, you can golf at Tahquitz Creek Golf Course in Palm Springs for as low as $49. If you book ahead, and if you want to play at Silver Rock in La Quinta, well, they're now using dynamic pricing. You may ask, what is that? Well, dynamic pricing is real-time pricing. Prices will fluctuate up and down based on changing conditions such as time of the year, increase in demand, weather, and other factors. So prices are now based on these factors. So this pricing method is relatively new to golf. However, it's common in other travel and hospitality businesses. So when checking just a few minutes ago, pricing for 4 players in March 2022 would be $175 per player. Many people, me included, find Palm Springs a unique and great place to live. We love the energy and the vibe, even though the prices are a little on the high side. When you first get here, things may seem a little different than from where you came from. So you'll find this next video very helpful about the things I wished I'd known before moving to Palm Springs.